Hello guys, welcome to my channel. My name is Yudiwa Hatlabiwa. Right, here I am with the lesson that I've been saying I'm gonna come with. This lesson came in, so today I would also refer into my journal because this is a lesson that came as I was just receiving information from the other side as I was talking to them. So, what I have learned from this conversation, it was more about, or maybe will be relevant to those people who have this question to say, how do you respond to life-changing difficulties in your life? And what are those difficulties? More about what are those difficulties that you are facing in your life, right? So what they said to me was just in one sentence or two-line conversations. One was to say, you need to let go of the unspoken expectations. And they've led me into the Buddha teaching around that topic in terms of silent expectations, right? And I went through to read or watch some of the lessons around that Buddhist teachings around expectation, unspoken expectation. It's very good, right? So most of the time we find that we have expectations from other people that we hold on to ourselves, and we expect other people to meet those expectations. And those most of the time are the things that take away our peace. They are things that brings challenges and difficulties in our lives because we do not have control, number one, over other people. Secondly, other people do not even have any knowledge in terms of what you're expecting from them, right? And what was a bit of a shock in the conversation is when my spirit guide says to me, the biggest of it all, the expectations that we hold, it's on the spirit side. And I was a bit puzzled at that moment. But this said to me, reflect on that and see how it goes. Right? And as I look into it, I realized that there is definitely sorry guys, just a distraction of a call there. There is definitely things that we do expect from spirit, right? And for example, they said it comes from either prophecies that we receive, revelations that we receive, either it's through dreams that we have seen certain things, either it's prophecies that we have that were shared with us with spiritual healers or spiritual light workers, or it is from the divine itself, from even the promises that were made by scriptures in those who are in spiritual, in religious groups, that were made from that. And I want people to be mindful. I'm not talking about people who are in religion and are like here. I'm talking about people who are in religion and they understand the flexibility of spirit. So those are the things that they say they are the biggest things that are daunting into the spirit, because we have this expectation to say, my spirit team, Marena, Mudimo, Badimo, they have revealed this thing for me. For example, maybe, a promotion at work or a different work position whatsoever, right? Now we hold on so much into these things, or a marriage, whatever, guys, that one can find themselves looking into or waiting for example, or that you have prayed for and a prophecy can come, or a revelation come. Now you hold on into this revelation and you forget to live your life. You forget to be in the process of having that. They say to me, we can bring you a prophecy, we can bring you a revelation of what you have asked or what you are going through in your life, but does it mean you're gonna get it tomorrow? And it also doesn't mean you're gonna get it next year. There are a lot of other things that you probably are working through and being prepared to also receive those things. So you should always let go, receive and let go. Don't receive the messages and where now you are living your life based on this, and these things start not to happen. Years pass or months pass, and you now feel like spirit is not supporting you, which is not the case, right? It's not the case. The case is that they are working on it. They don't work in the same timelines that we have. So then, as I was going through this readings in the Buddhist teachings, I got one ritual that it's a mental ritual that one needed to perform, right? So this ritual was just about to say, like, look down within yourself and just bring one thing. Bring that one thing that, it's daunting into your spirit. It's disturbing you. Like, thoroughly evaluate it. Evaluate it without putting anyone into the process, right? Without saying UD has to be part of the outcome of this particular thing to happen. Okay? So if you find anything that has somebody, that is linked to somebody, that is actually, I don't know where I got that, but that's what is coming now for me. That if you, when you are evaluating yourself and you find that there is a linkage of somebody needing to do something in order for you to get that which you want. It's not something that you can go, for example, if you want to go to school, that's you. You go to school, right? There are bursaries, you apply. Yes, it involves maybe being accepted, but that's where spirit comes. You apply and you leave it on spirit. You don't sit every day waiting for the response. You don't wait every day to say, oh my God, am I going to get this thing? You trust, you surrender that thing into the spirit and you live it. And if, for example, you want to just live your life and you're expecting another being, another spirit to be the one having to be doing things for you, those are the things that you need to know that you need to let go. You're expecting UD to do 1, 2, 3. You didn't tell UD that this is what you're expecting from UD. And they said to me, most of this expectation happen in relationships. Relationships, it doesn't matter what type of a relationship. It could be a family relationship, it could be work relationships, it can be your romantic relationship, your partnership relationships. You just need to get to understand, because here we are dealing with each other. We have differences in what we want to do in life, so that this is in a space where we share things. So you need to communicate your things. You need to communicate your expectations and make your own decisions, right? You're not communicating your expectations for other people to amend their lives for you. You are communicating your expectations for you to be able to make an informed decision in what you are going through, to make an informed decision on to say, okay, now what do I do if this next partner or the next party is not coming through into this thing. If it's also like business proposals or business partnerships, for example, you need to assess those things. Don't just have expectations of your business partners and think that they're gonna read your mind, or your co-workers that they're going to read your mind. And most of us, especially in the workplaces, we just want to hide and make everybody happy, and we don't tell people what we expect. At times we don't tell people how we want to be treated, and people just walk over us, right? And at the end of the day, you're going to complain that they never need to treat you bad or whatever the case may be. But the thing is, you are not being honest, you're not being authentic with yourself. So how are other people going to treat you if you're not being authentic with yourself? You get it? So they did say, continuing to say, if we say you should not, and this is just emphasizing everything that I've already said now, if we say that you should not expect, you should not have all this, your expectations from us, let alone the people that you live with on earth, what more? What more can you expect from it? You can't. I can even make so many promises to you, but you can't expect those things from me. So you need to analyze yourself. You need to do self-check. I have said in my previous recordings that you need to do self-research. You need to know yourself. I've read one of I don't know, one of the statuses on my WhatsApp readers, and it says that no matter how many books you read, no matter how many motivational books you read, and I'm adding to that, or YouTube videos you listen in terms of motivation, you will not be going anywhere if you don't know yourself. Self-awareness. And how do you be aware of yourself? You do your self-research. You get to know yourself. You question yourself. You know, I've given this other a model of assessing, of researching yourself. You know, you get to know yourself. You go practice, you go back, you refine yourself. That's how it works. And that's how it should work even for you to change, or to be aware, actually, to be aware of yourself, and to be aware of your mental capacity, and be aware of how you analyze your own situations and do a reflection on them. And stop the mentality of blaming other people. That's how you slowly stop blaming other people for your life, because you need to live a colorful life. You need to live a life of joy. You are not brought here on earth. We are all not brought here on earth, honestly, to suffer. We choose our sufferings. Let that sit. We choose our sufferings. I didn't make a mistake. We choose our sufferings. We choose our joy. We see how we perceive, or we have our own worldview, right? So if you see the world burning, or your house burning, I'm sure the entire world is burning. So let go of those expectations. Enjoy your life without expecting anything from anyone, including expectation from the spirit. Trust that they are working. They are doing their part. And you have to do your part. You have to do your part. So that's the gist of the matter that I wanted to bring into all of you guys. practice these things. Practice them. Don't just get into here and just absorb information without using that information to refine yourself and to get to know yourself better and to be able to improve yourself. It's never too late to start working on what you want to experience in your life. Ask yourself, what do I want to experience in my life? And how am I going to go about doing it? Where do I start? Go speak to your spirit guides, man, and just tell them, hey guys, I think I want to do this and this and that. How can we maneuver around these things? And trust and believe into spirit. That spirit had you. Or spirits, because it's not just one spirit, but spirits had you. Those who are in your team of light. And you just experience it. Don't attach yourself into a lot of things. Because attachment as well comes with these expectations. Because even if you are told, you're given a revelation, you become so attached to it that now all of a sudden many things that you are supposed to do, you don't do it because you have this prophecy, when you have this revelation. You forget that you need to do your part. You forget that you need to still continue to live your life and breathe and laugh. You are now focused into a prophecy, a revelation. No, doesn't work like that. Prophecy can even take 5 years to come true. So if prophecy is going to take 5 years to come true, and you are actually not even doing anything on yourself, you're not even enjoying your life, you are depressed, you are so attached into this thing, how is that you are actually delaying that particular prophecy? It can even now take 10 years. So just relax. We need to learn to relax. And don't mistaken the talks in like things are as simple as that. If you look into cognitive behavior in psychology, in terms of learning, changing habits, changing behavior, I think it's about your 30 days that you need to be practicing these things. But obviously, we can't just say 30 days if you are constantly not doing these things on a daily basis. Give yourself some months to change your mental views, to change how you see things. Give yourself time and allow experiences that will teach you to practice these lessons, to come. Appreciate them when they come. At times, those lessons or situations that comes, in order for you to learn, they are not the easiest. They are most probably the difficult ones. So you need to give yourself grace. You need to give yourself grace. You need to give yourself love and mercy. It's so easy to give other people grace, but we are unable to give that very same grace to ourselves. So we need to learn, Bahulu. We need to learn to let go. We need to understand ourselves. Most importantly of it all, if you don't motivate yourself, no any motivation is gonna motivate you. No any talk from any profession or no profession will ever motivate you. You need to take a lead in your life. You need to take control of your life. Don't expect any other person to come and take control of your life. Yeshua is not going to come take control of your life and mix up and correct everything in your life. You need to take control of that. You need to work with Yeshua in order for you to do that. You need to learn the teachings of Yeshua in order for you to be able to understand. And I hope you understand, Yeshua, you call or well known as Jesus, but you need to work with that divine presence. It's not going to do the work for you. And sometimes this is where people get it wrong. This is where sometimes, especially in the religion context, we get it wrong. Because you are sitting here waiting for somebody to come do something for you. Or you just think all is gonna give it. No. There's nothing that's gonna just fall on your laps. Yes, miracles are there, but even miracles, people will tell you sometimes, just take an example of people who have been looking for a child for so many years. And the child comes many years later, and they still call that child a miracle. They didn't call the child a miracle because they prayed today and the child was here tomorrow. You need to go through the process and the experiences. You need to trust the Spirit, and you need to give space to the Spirit. Right? I don't know if I've said it before, or maybe I've written it in my statuses, to say you can't plant a seed and every day you go and dig to check its progress. You need to give it space. That's what surrender means. You give it space to grow. You let nature take control, and you focus on your other things. You don't have to go there every day checking how far it is. You work on yourself. So let go of those attachments. Oh yes, I didn't finalize the ritual as kids. I got carried away. So the mental ritual for letting go on working with the unspoken expectation is that, as I've said, you have to assess and find that thing that you think, or not that you think, because I don't want you to mentally just do this and do things that are not effective, that which feels heavy on you. Assess that particular situation, right? And put it in your mind. So a mental ritual, it's not a physical thing. It's not anything that you do physically, but it doesn't mean this. You can only do this thing on mental capacity only. You can do it in any way that you feel that's a better ritual for you. So for the mental one, you just bring your awareness into, you bring the awareness into your mind, you bring it into your emotion, you let it fill your whole being. And when I say your whole being, I mean let it fill your mind, let it fill your spirit, let it fill your heart, your emotions, right? What emotions are coming, when you are working on this. And once you have got into that, you bring it forth into the spirit. When I say the mind, you bring it forth into the unseen, which is in your mind, right? We know that the mind is not the brain, right? So you're not bringing it in the brain, you're bringing it into the mind. Oh, my stand is falling. So once you have done that, let me just fix this quick. So once you have done that, it seems like I need to hold it. Okay. So once you have done that, once you have done your bringing this into your mind, you then have to look into sorry guys, let me just adjust myself a bit here. So once you have brought this into your mind, you let it sit in the spirit, you see it, you feel it, right? And once you have seen and felt how it comes about, what thoughts what type of thought is this thing bringing, you put them here, right? You reflect, you bringing everything to the spirit, this is what's coming, this is what I am feeling about this particular issue, this is that I've and then you go into what is the expectation that you have been expecting, either from somebody else or from spirit, and then you put it there mentally. You put it there, this is what I've been expecting, I have not told you about it, I've not told this person about it, and then you release and you say, I let this particular thing go, right? So when you work with spirit in the mind or in the spirit, this is how I do it. If I'm doing the mind release or rituals, you need to find something in the spirit that can take that away from you, right? So what I do is either I am bringing light to burn fire, the element of fire, the spirit of the fire, into your space to let burn that thing. You are either bringing Mother Earth into it, where you either burying it up here. You're not physically doing this, right? And then, or you are working with the divine spirit of water. You're putting it in the water, you let it flow out with the water up here in your mind. Then you release it. You let it go. Right. So everything that I've said that you can do in your reflection and bringing to the spirit into the mind, you can do the same thing physically. You can write down, if you are a journal person who prefer writing, whatever the whole thing, you do it, you write it down. You either pen or you either bury the paper physically, or you go to a river and you let it flow. That's it. Okay, that's it. It's a ritual. There's nothing hectic about it. A ritual is just something you do, and yeah, you let go. If you are one of the people who go with nature, you can even do that process during the full moon, where you release those things during full moon, because it's the time of the nature where things are released. And if you are fortunate to be a female, you can release them during your menstrual cycle. In that, because in that you are also at a very good aligned space to release whatever things that you would want to release. You can actually do this process for a time. You don't have to do it for an hour. You don't have to do it for seconds or whatever, because if you have to kind of like be honest with yourself, you might get it immediately, in terms of, especially if you're going through something that is currently heavy on you, you will be able to assess it, to assess it, right? But sometimes it can take you time to reflect, to evaluate, and to get to that thing that you wanna let go of, or that you need to check if you have any unspoken attachment or unspoken expectations, right? And you let go of those attachments. You let go of that attachment. So that's it from us today. It's a bit cold here in Johannesburg, and I hope everyone is keeping warm, enjoying your winter, having your soups and your teas and your coffees. Don't be like me and have 3 cups of coffee every day. It's not good. Need to work on that myself. So yeah, keep warm, keep yourself yeah, with the warm liquids and the nice and juicy ones, and prevent yourself from getting flu. All right, my pips, goodbye and love you all.